Sometimes I think that it is hard for us to write the timing for some stages of the lesson. That's why I would like to talk about it today and to tell you the approximate time for some stages. Let's start from the beginning. Leading. Usually leading is up to 5 minutes. It can be less than 5 minutes, but maximum I'd recommend it to keep it 5 minutes. Then, gist tasks. Reading for gist or listening for gist. Usually before the task we give a question. For example, if it is a reading for gist, we ask, is this text from a cookbook, for example? And we give maximum 1 minute for that. And the students are to tell that if it is from a cookbook or not, because they do not read in detail, they do not read every word, they just need to find some words to detect if it is from a cookbook or not. The same is with listening for gist. Then we've got scanning. Again, before scanning, we give a question. For example, we ask our students to find names or a specific time or some specific information, perhaps a telephone number. And they do not read in detail. We ask them not to read word by word. We ask them only to find information which we ask them to find. You might think that 1 minute is not enough, but if you really set the clock for 1 minute, believe me, that would be enough. Sometimes, once I had a case when my student was super stressed when I told her that she's got only 1 minute. So we started with 2 minutes, and then she realized that 2 minutes is too much for her, and she told me like, hey, I'm ready. And I was like, look, you can see it, you can do it for 1 minute or even less than in 1 minute. Next stages is feedback in pairs. When your students, for example, work individually, after that you've got feedback in pairs. You may set for it, for example, 30 seconds or 1 minute maximum. It all depends on the task, of course. But if they did a matching activity or they had to fill in with only one word in one sentence, they will not talk. They will just like, hey, I've got A, B, C here. Oh, okay, that is super quick. And I'm sure that they will not use English or other foreign language which they are learning when they are checking in pairs. And the last stage. The final stage usually is language feedback, which is usually at the end of the lesson. Those are examples of good and bad language used during the lesson. Usually we have up to 5 minutes for that. And again, often we write some words or sentences on a whiteboard. We do not name a student who said it. They will know themselves about it, and we ask, is it okay or not? If it is not okay, you will cross it out. You will cross out the mistake or a word, and you will write the correct one. And again, this is feedback for good and bad language, so it is not about their mistakes only. You should state good points and correct pronunciation, correct sentences.